No way, Atlas Bipod? What? In actuality, it's not an Atlas Bipod. This is a Chinese knockoff bipod. If I can find the packaging, I will grab it quickly. But let's see if we can focus here quick. Oh yeah. I'm doing this one-handed, hence the loud autofocus. But if you see that, it has full Atlas logos and everything, but this is not full Atlas, which I knew full well when ordering it. This is a copy of the 8 version 8, not the 8.1, as you can tell by the grippers. First impressions, let's grab the box quick. This is what the box looks like. I'm probably going to be out of focus for 90% of this. But, and it's pretty loud too. Yeah, this is how the box came in. But all in all, it does look quality. I have some issues with some of the things being not tight at all. Like there's a few screws that are pretty much loose already. But all in all, it looks like it's going to function like a Atlas would, which is the reason I bought it. Everyone who had the knockoff said that it works just about 90% as the original. But this only costs, wait for it, $44 versus the $300 on a legit Atlas. So I'm gonna tighten some stuff up and get it on the rifle, and then I will come back to you at that point. Alright, so I know the lighting is probably horrible, but here is one of the it's just sloppy all around. If I shake it, you can see them just wobbling around. And the reason for that is, if I can do this while looking, I don't know how good the focus is there. Try to hold the rifle steady, but okay, so that screw right there is the screw that everything pivots on, and that is bottomed out right now. I tried to tighten it more, and it will not tighten anymore, so it's obviously bottomed out on something. There's a brass washer right there, and another one underneath, I can see, but they're not even really being pressed against because that main screw is bottomed out. So I'm either going to have to file off the end of that screw or create a new washer there that'll be thicker. That kind of shows what you're getting when you're buying something that's a knockoff. You're gonna probably have to end up doing some work of your own to make it as good as you'd like, but it does work right now, and I'm not sure if they're trying to use that to replicate the the slop. I can't talk. They're trying to use that to replicate the slop of the regular Atlas bipods, or if that's just quality control. But all in all, I'd say it's probably worth the money. It's got all the features of an Atlas, minus the price tag. The one thing I noticed is there is no end to the movement there. I'm pretty sure on a real Atlas that is only supposed to be a 15 degrees either direction movement like that, but on this thing you can go wherever the hell you want. And it does seem to slightly untighten the main adjustment knob, and that's another thing, is you really can't torque this thing down to the amount you need to. This is fully tightened as much as I can possibly tighten it, and it's, as you can see, this is minimal effort to do that. So really I don't think you're ever going to be able to lock this thing up, but all in all, I'd say it's usable and it's probably worth the money, but you can tell the quality's not necessarily up to par with a Harris or anything like that. but this is about half the cost of a Harris with twice the features. So I'd say if you're strongly looking at buying a real Atlas and you're like just trying to get away with saving money, if you can, I would definitely put the money to a real Atlas bipod. But other than that, if you're one of those guys who's probably never going to spend the money and would just like to try it out or wants it for the looks, this would probably do it. Another thing to note is right after I ordered this, a few days later, I noticed that Deal Extreme took it off their website and the product page doesn't even exist anymore. So they may be done with selling these, or they may just be waiting for a new shipment or something like that, but I guess time will tell on that. But that is my quick overview, really crappy, I know, of the knockoff Atlas from Deal Extreme. There's other retailers, Chinese retailers, that sell these, but I went through Deal Extreme because I've ordered through them before, and they have a faster shipping rates, speeds, and things. But that's about it. Thanks for watching, I guess, and get yourself an Atlas. Bye.
Alright, if you're hearing this, you've stayed through an almost unwatchable video, but I'm here to tell you that I've done some things with the bipod. Like I said, I couldn't tighten up that screw anymore, those screws. So what I did is go to the hardware store, and they did not have any of the same size brass washers that I needed. So I ended up getting some nylon or plastic ones that I was able to drill out the inside diameter on, and I also did that with some copper ones that I haven't tried yet. But as far as the nylon ones go, I put those in there, and if you tighten it up fully, that screw has too much tension and is almost unusable, almost unable to change the leg location as far as the cant of it, the 45 degree or 90 degree. So that's not very good. But what I did do was put it on there and keep the screw somewhat loose. So I tightened it until there was just barely any tension on the screw, and then Loctited everything in place. And I'm hoping that will stay in place enough. With the Loctite there, it removes all slop out of the wobble of the left and right on the bipod, and it seems to be pretty good. If this doesn't end up working, I will try the bronze washers that I got, but my thought is if you're adding material there that it's going to clamp down to, you're not going to be able to adjust the position of the legs, so you're pretty much screwed. There's going to be some slop in the leg mechanism no matter what you do. The other issue is that on that rotation, like I said, there's no limit to the rotation, so if you get any movement at all, it tends to unscrew the bottom, that big knob on there, which is probably the biggest downfall of this knockoff bipod. That knob you can't tighten any more than you can. I feel like it's bottoming out, but any little movement untightens it almost completely, so it's completely and totally loose. I'd almost rather have no rotational ability and have it maintain stiffness than have a lock that comes undone. So I don't know, it's still very usable. It's still a decent bipod overall, so I would recommend you get one if you are a poor man, or you just cannot feasibly spend that amount of money on a regular Atlas. But overall, it's really not that quality of a bipod for the cheap knockoff version. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Woo!